Hey. So first I want to say I'm nervous as shit. Let's just go ahead and get that on the table. I am definitely nervous. I'm nervous because this is such a place to where you're being vulnerable. So you're opening up. Once you say something, you can't take it back. It's out there, and media is such a conversational place. Let me say that. I really want to say like such a judgmental place. So just the nervousness is coming from being open to whomever may come across this channel, and whatever I say can't be taken back. But so I've tried to do this channel like years in the making, and I stopped for a few reasons, whether it was because okay, my mom is like super supportive, right? And it's like, well, I don't want her watching my channel while I'm being my self. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like you present yourself, or at least I present myself a certain way in front of my family, like my parents and stuff, elders and stuff. I don't cuss around them. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she's so supportive, and like what happens when she comes on here to support me and I'm like dropping F-bombs all everywhere, and I do. So that's first and foremost. If you don't like women cussing, this is not the channel for you, because I like to add a little season, a little spice to my shit. Then you add some flavor. You know, it makes it like, you know, a little better sometimes. So this ain't the channel for you if you don't like women using curse words. If you think it's unladylike. Because what Rihanna say, I'm such a fucking lady. But anyways, so yeah, just ultimately letting a lot of outside factors determine whether or not to push this through. And then also like some things in my head, you know what I'm saying? Just I've been battling with this perfection thing, not, of course, perfection to whomever, but to myself, you know, what I feel is the best, what I feel is not the best, or whatever, you know. So I'm my own biggest critic, as most of us are our own biggest critic. And yeah, so I'm just kind of like trying to get past that and get over it. Like this one here, this video here, 5 times. Okay, I have watched, so I know at least like 2 of those times I've recorded and I've watched it and I've laughed at myself and I've at myself and I've at myself, and I just like delete the whole thing, like impulsively, just like, no, fuck this shit, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the thing that I wanted to bring to this channel, was the things that make people go, oh, okay, laugh a little bit, and you know, to be real, you know what I'm saying? So I've been kind of like in a little, I have my people that I love and I trust. I'm a very like sentimental person. So yeah, opening up on here is inviting people in to have opinions, is inviting people in to pass judgment, it's inviting, you know what I'm saying? So one thing my husband told me, he was like, okay, well, if you steady having problems with that, then, you know, are you really comfortable with yourself? And I had to like sit back like and think about it, like, yeah, you right, you know. So all right, so where do I start? So I have officially been out of high school for 10 years. So I graduated high school back May 24th, I think. It was a Thursday. 24th or 26th. I think it's the 24th. 2012. It is the 28th, maybe? Hold on. The 29th of September. So it's the 29th of September of 2022. And I've got to say, in this past 10 years, I have, as most of us have, been through a lot, you know, transitioning from a child, you know, to being a grown woman is, it's been a motherfucking roller coaster. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, there have been wonderful times, but there have been so many like learning lessons and or so many lessons to learn, and life, you know what I'm saying? Life teaches you so much, and the light is bright. So if I've like not been looking directly into the cameras, because I'm like, it's nighttime and the light is like beaming on me. But yeah, so 10 years ago, I was single. I was 17. Or 10 years ago from today, let's say that. Or no, let me say when I got out of high school, because that was like the start of life. So 10 years ago, I was 17. I was single. I was working, about to start college. I was going to college for for secondary education, but to teach mathematics in secondary education. So I wanted to be a math teacher. That changed. Maybe we'll get into that in the channel somewhere, you know, maybe talking about like careers and life paths and, you know, going with the flow and stuff like that. That's neither here nor there today. But yeah, so I was going to college to be a secondary, so that's middle or high school teacher, to teach mathematics. And 10 years ago, I hope to have been married. I hope to have had children by now. I hope to have been, I thought I was going to be a teacher. I thought I was going to be teaching in the schools, you know, be a little short little thing, walking around looking like the rest of the kids. And so fast forward 10 years from then, I am married. I've been married for 7 years. I just celebrated my 7th year anniversary on August 21st. I am 28. My birthday's in August, so 10 years ago from high school, I was 17. I wasn't 18 yet, so 28. And I have 2 sons, 3 and 1. They're 3 and 1. And I have my own business in braiding. So I'm a healthy hair braid specialist. I like to say that's kind of like the title that my clients give me. So I install braids, and I try to do it the healthy way to where you have hair when you take them out. So if, you know what I'm saying, you need some products or something, resemblemebyrobin.com. If you're trying to check out my hair YouTube page, Resemble Me by Robin. If you want to check out my Instagram, Resemble Me by Robin. It's all the same name everywhere you go, okay? Resemble Me by Robin. I also leave it right here. So, yeah, so I have my own studio here. Oh, and I'm living in California. So I live in San Diego, California. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, and that's where I was 10 years ago. And I absolutely did not imagine living in another state at all, if I'm being quite honest. I was really like, we'll get into that. Anyways, so yeah, it's been 10 years. I had to like write down some notes because I don't be trying to like ramble too much. But this past 10 years, I have been, like most of us, have been going through so much stuff, right? So from graduating, I remember right before college started, I prayed this prayer, you know, asking God to keep me close to him, asking him to remove my terrible, terrible attitude, help the way that I deliver my messages, you know what I'm saying, from the purest heart, to really just kind of mold me into being a better person, you know, into being a light to everybody that I encounter as much as I can. You know, we know that everybody ain't gonna like you, or you ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But there were some things about myself that I knew going into the real world that I wanted to improve so that I could make my life as easy as possible. Like, cause life is hard. I used to have a teacher, Mr. Allen, in the 8th grade. He taught at Cloverdale Cubs, woo woo. He would say, life is hard, then you die. So it sounds bad. It sounds bad, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I understand what he means. Like, it was sad because of how he said it and the energy that was coming from it, but life truly is hard. I can say that I have just been blessed to have, fortunately, and of course I've made mistakes all throughout, but fortunately to choose the hearts that have helped move my life further on. You know what I'm saying? So life is hard, but you got to choose your heart. You know what I'm saying? So I am living in the fruits of choosing the hard so that I can live the life that ultimately I want. You know, I'm still working. It's always still a work in progress. But truthfully, he wasn't lying. So, yeah. So, hold on. Let me go to my notes. That's why I got notes, because I be all over the place. So, yeah. Let me say. So yeah, so throughout like this past 10 years, I'm not gonna go like super in depth because I don't want this video to be extremely long. But I just kind of want to give like a little overview, because I'm sure we'll hit those topics and be able to like really dive in as this channel grows. I really hope I continue to do this. Like, I hope I upload this one and I actually like continue to do it. Like, I hope I don't get into my head again and be like, nah, fuck the shit. So throughout like my past 10 years, what I can say is ultimately I used to think that there was this thing that you had to learn, this like key to life that was going to make life extremely easy. You know what I'm saying? But what I have learned over these past years, and probably like within the last maybe 5 or so years, is that there isn't one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, in order to keep increasing in life and advancing, you're going to have like new trials and new things like to keep going. There isn't like one thing. There is a multitude of things. And I almost feel as if like for instance, I have a thing of selfishness, right? So I almost feel like I'm tested like on every level. So it's a new levels, new devils, right? But I almost feel like, is it the same devil or is it the same obstacle? You know, just looking at my life, like that I have to deal with when it comes to when I get to another level, and it's like, can I get over, or can I ace this level so that I can get to the next level? You know what I'm saying? So it's not that there's one thing. When you are going through life, you realize, the more you learn to realize the more you realize there is so much more to learn. Like, it's endless things to learn. You know what I'm saying? So there isn't one thing, but yeah. So, you know, just going through many things, like, okay, I graduated out of high school. I went to college. I got into a car accident that like threw my life for a total like loop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't imagine adulthood starting as that, but it did. And that was probably like my first silent period of where I got to sit back and really observe my surroundings. I used to be like, I know it all. You know what I'm saying? I know it or whatever. Leave me alone. Or I'll figure it out. Like, I personally didn't like to tell people things because I didn't want people to have an opinion, because I'm going to do what I want to do anyways. Or I'm going to make my own logic or have my own understanding and go about it the way that I want to go about it. Where was I going with that? I have no idea. So one thing I do want to say is, they talk about pregnancy brain, and I'm not pregnant, but they say that you be losing shit. And that's not a lie. Anybody that got a wife or a baby mother or a mother or a sister who has had children, like, them pebbles. And so sometimes I'm in the middle of saying something and I totally forget what I'm saying, and I absolutely cannot figure out what it was that I was saying. So we're just gonna skip past that. So anyways, again, within this like 10 years, just going through my car accident. The notes help. So yeah, going through the car accident, and life is just like, okay, you know, I told God what I wanted, and he was like, all right, you ready? Let's get it. So I feel that, you know, that happened, and then I started going through phases of like a quiet phase, and having friends like making disclaimers for me, like, you know, okay, my friend come in and, you know, she got a mouth on her, so if you don't want, you know, don't ask her nothing if you don't want the truth, you know what I'm saying, or if you don't want her to give her truthful opinion. But things like that I started to dislike. You know what I'm saying? I used to be such a, like, so into zodiac signs, like being a Leo. I used to be so like, yeah, I'm just blunt, I'm just this, I'm just that. And that was younger. Give me grace. But what I realized was, or what was happening then was, I was realizing that either people were scared to talk to me, or they didn't want to have an opinion, or they didn't, just because how I respond. Not saying that I'd be like, oh, you stupid bitch, like I wasn't doing none of that crazy stuff. But when I speak, I don't speak like with a soft voice. I don't speak with I'm kind of like a rational, factual person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like baby situations. I kind of like I seen a post the other day where it talked about, like, I hate being into niggas because niggas just get straight to the point. Like, that's how I am. Like, that's just like, fuck all of this feeling shit. Although I just, nigga, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it gonna be? So just like, mainly my delivery. So working on like my delivery, and then things like understanding that we are all different people. So I was like super heavy or religious. Let me say that, super heavy in church and very religious. And I feel that for myself, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel that religion is so fucking controlling. And being a Christian, or labeling myself as a Christian, I still believe in God, I still believe in Jesus. That was a whole thing, and we'll get into that in another video. But why do I do that? I feel that, hold on. Yeah, so being like very, very heavy in church, and like being religious, and trying to live the life that they're telling you to live, which, by the way, anyways, we'll get into that. Trying to live the life of perfection. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to be as pure as possible, you know what I'm saying? So that I can get to heaven when I die. But also realizing that I am a fucking scared of death. Like, how the fuck am I a Christian? And we talk about seeing Jesus, but I'm scared as a shit to meet this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit just wasn't adding, like, things just weren't adding up. So I was going through stuff like understanding God for myself, and trying to understand and fathom. Although I can't really fathom everything, I was going through a period of like separating myself so that I can fathom those things. And what helped me to kind of do that was actually me moving from San Diego to California. So when I got married, I stayed in Arkansas for another like year and a couple months until I graduated, and then I moved to California. And when I did, like, so many things just like opened up. Like, moving from Little Rock to California was such a experience. Like, you just realize so many things. And again, I'm not going to get like too much into detail, because I don't want to like repeat the same shit over and over, because I do plan on having like other videos where I know those things will come up in conversation. So, but moving from Little Rock to California, at the time I moved, I was 22. You got to grow up, right? So growing up much quicker, right? So yeah, you're 8. People say, okay, you're 18 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But unless, excuse me, you have to do like everything on your fucking own. Like, I had to do all of that much, much, much quicker, because I made myself like a true adult, or whatever, for lack of better words, a lot sooner than many people do. You know what I'm saying? Today's time. So moving and transitioning, and getting away from the things that I've always known I was different. Okay, not better, not less, but different. I've always known I was different. So I was being able to like separate myself and detach from Little Rock. I was able to like really explore those things without the pressures of how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Without the pressures of everything that was already like placed on me, and the expectations and whatever. Like something as simple as, okay, if I'm at home, my mama gonna expect me to go to church every Sunday. So I'm not sitting right with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's much easier to do when you're away. At least for me, it was much easier for me to do and to transition, not to have like all of that stuff in my ear and to come up with my own conclusions and my own understanding when I was away. So moving away, having to grow up like really fast, starting a business that I just kind of stumbled into, if I'm being quite honest with y'all. Like, I'm supposed to be like in my 6th year teaching. So stumbling in a business, being married. So being married young, you know what I'm saying? And making these decisions as a young couple, like steady jumping together, you know, and trusting the decisions being made, you know what I'm saying, between my husband and I, having children. That shit right there, having kids, like, I'm already a super emotional person, but my nigga, having kids, it just really, for myself, it made me like look at life like, I remember being pregnant with my first son, Denzel, and I was like, I remember crying to Quincy, that's my husband. I remember crying to him like, I just want him to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like, thinking back on the things that I've done, you know what I'm saying, that hasn't been such good things. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm just a terrible person. We all have our things, you know what I'm saying? But looking back on those things and realizing that you're about to be responsible for raising a human being and going to go out into this world to other people. So like having that time and really such a moment of, or not a moment, such a period of reflection, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Okay, so then went through so having him and then going through the pandemic. My goodness, the pandemic answers so many questions. I didn't even know. Sometimes I had questions about, you know what I'm saying? But going through the pandemic, and sitting at, I mean, all of us were just pretty much like watching TV because there was like really nothing else to do. So sitting in the house, like me and my husband, every time we come home from work, we're, you know, watching these shows. We're watching like Love is Blind. We're watching these marriage shows. We're watching just all types of reality stuff, all types of movies, and sitting there and talking to him and just like realizing, I move my hands a lot, but realizing so many things, like men and women are totally fucking different. Like, I don't even want to get into that shit because what the fuck. But anyways, you know, just having these conversations and realizing the differences between people. Even let me back it up. Like when me and Quincy first started dating, like him kind of telling me, and something I've been living with that's been like helping me, like, and now I don't even have to think about it, but realizing that people are different. Him, along with college, you know what I'm saying, along with just experiencing things, like coming here to California, to a new place, that was like another silent period of mine where I was being very observant. I'm already a pretty observant person, but I was like really being observant to my surroundings, my new surroundings, you know what I'm saying? So coming from the South to the West Coast, it was such a difference. Like, oh my God, it was such a difference. It was such a difference. But, you know, going through all of those things, ending friendships, you know what I'm saying? Like, removing parts of myself that I don't like and people that I feel are associated with it, or people that I feel I'm comfortable being a certain way around. When I was in a moment or a period of trying to change and trying to better myself and grow, I started to like remove, and in some cases like tear down, you know what I'm saying, things that were around me. And so having moments of like, after tearing everything down or like, you know, wiping everything off or whatever, realizing now, baby girl, it's just me and you. So you've said the things that you don't like about, or you remove yourself from things that you don't like, but some of these things are still in you. So what are you going to do to bring those out? You know what I'm saying? And to keep those out. What are you going to do to make yourself a light to this world? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? after you've, you know, went around and did everything, now it's just me and you in the mirror. So what's gonna happen? Like Issa Rae, like when she was with, had the episode or the season where her and Molly were going through like their friend stuff, and she had the episode where she ran into Molly going to like their favorite restaurant. It was like a Chinese restaurant or something, but she goes to look into the mirror, like, or look into her reflection in the door, and her reflection didn't talk back to her because it's like, baby, this on you now. You know what I'm saying? You've done all of the whatever. This part, you have to make that decision, or you have to see where you're gonna go along with that. You know, so you know, ending friendships and rekindling friendships and apologizing for the past, or acknowledging the things that I have done wrong in situations, and acknowledging that with people, or acknowledging that with myself, and whatever. Like, I've literally had to learn how to be graceful with myself and have grace with myself, because, and honestly, friends probably don't even know this shit, but people project, let me say this, people project the way that they feel about themselves. So sometimes it's like I'm too harsh, you know, on friends or on family, but it's like I'm like that to myself in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing that I do is, everything that anybody does is from their perspective. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, going through all of that. Yeah, and then just, so I have this thing that I've really been, you know, just control. So fortunately I have my business where I can control that, which has helped me a lot. You know, being able to have control over that. But so many things of learning about myself. So it's this quote that goes, know yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, be yourself, right? So first you have to know who you are. Stop fucking lying, right? Well, I ain't never really lied to myself about shit. Not on purpose, at least. You know what I'm saying? So lying to, or knowing yourself. So knowing who I am, accepting who I am, right? So I've been kind of going through that. I say, well, really this past 10 years, you know, figuring out what are the bad things about, what are really the bad things about myself. Because I can say like, yeah, my delivery wasn't good, or people, oh, she got a bad attitude. You know, I feel like a lot of times people just kind of like would run to that shit because that was like a stigma that I had on me. But sometimes they would like just not even acknowledge the genuineness coming from, well, she's saying this because she wants me to be better, or she's saying this because everybody else around me been lying and she just being honest and truthful, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So having to really just like, I told my friend one time, I said, just because part of what someone says is true doesn't mean that all of what they say is true. You know, so I had to like take my own advice on that, and realizing, okay, yes, you have these things about you, but what are things that bother people about you that not shouldn't bother them, because everybody has a right to feel how they want to feel, but you shouldn't give a fuck about, right? And then what are things that you actually need to change, or actually need to work on if you want to be a light in this world? Like, you know what I'm saying? So really like differentiating. I already took a shot, by the way, so I'm a little or a shot and a half, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, just different stuff like that. So, you know, and then going through even trying to figure out, how do I present myself to the world? You know, that was like a really big one, coming from being like super religious to spiritual. Yes, that is a fucking thing. You know, for people who be like, oh, everybody like, excuse me, all this spiritual. It's like, yes, my nigga, because religion is fucking controlling. It is a way to control. Spirituality is the spirit. We're all spirits. Like, we're all spirits here in human form. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you know, trying to figure out exactly, how do I want to present myself to this world if I'm not going off of this confusing ass shit, you know what I'm saying, that was or has been presented to me. Not everything was confusing, you know, from church and stuff like that. I've learned a lot and apply a lot to my everyday life, you know what I'm saying? But what of these things are not accurate, or what of these things, how can I remove those learned behaviors to be, I don't know, what I want to be or who I want to be? Like, how do I want to present myself, you know what I'm saying, to the world, you know, just as a person, because I'm walking around here just like everybody else is, you know. So yeah, and then having hindsight moments, like realizing so many things, but yeah, so again, like I was saying, there is not this, I've learned that there is not this one thing that you unlock. Like, if you want to keep elevating, you gonna keep going through shit, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna keep going through things to be able to get over things, but you have to go through them to get through them, you know what I'm saying? You can't not, because it's gonna haunt you. So fortunately, I hate sitting in shit, you know what I'm saying? So I do whatever it is I gotta do to get past whatever the shit is. So yeah, and just again realizing that the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know shit. Like, I know a lot, but oh my goodness, it just opens me up to want to learn even more things, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, I have been super overthinking things, overanalyzing things. I'm just like at a place to where, and another reason why I was like hesitant on this channel is because like I have opinions about like stuff, as we all do. And you know, when you have friends and you have family and you have clients, you know, in my case, people that you talk to often, that the craziest thing is, okay, so everybody is going through the same thing. What's it like, Sunder? Is that like the definition of Sunder? So everybody is basically living the same life, just differently. So I'm gonna try to make that make sense. So like for, hold on, let me see, what does Sunder mean? Realizing that everyone, including strangers passing the street, has a life as complex as one's own, which they are consistently living despite one's personal lack of awareness of it, which is so true. That's why they say just be kind, because you absolutely don't know what anybody else is going through, and it's not your business, you know what I'm saying, to really know what people are going through. But you know, just realizing that, where the fuck was I going with that? I'm telling you, listen, between the pregnancy brain and weed, it can get crazy, okay? It can get crazy. But where was I going with that? Anywho, ooh. Realizing that everybody has the same way. Yeah, I have no idea where I have no idea where I was going with that. But you know, it'll probably come up again. But yeah, just really going through like all of these things, and I don't know, just trying to make my life as easy as it can be for myself, you know what I mean? So, you know, just going through this journey. Oh, that's what I was saying. Came back. You know, just having different opinions on different things where people could get offended, you know what I'm saying? Just as it is, you talking about me, or is this it? And it's like, no, I'm just talking, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking, but I feel this way, you know what I'm saying? I feel this way, and I want to express it. You know, there's been because I would get this, you know, selfishness and however, whatever was put on me, how I used to be or whatever. It's been like a couple years where I've almost not put myself aside, because I just can't do that. It's just not in my DNA. But where I have really tried to understand people way more than I should have. You know what I'm saying? Way more than I should have. Because of trying to, I don't know, just be a better person, be or whatever. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of not being able to say what I want, or choosing, not that, because everything is a choice. Tired of not saying things that are on my mind, tired of not expressing things that I want to express because of other people. Of course, I still care about people's feelings, but I'm just kind of over that phase of quieting and silencing myself. I actually went through a phase where I felt like, who am I to say anything? So I just stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? I just stopped. Like, you know, I feel like it was a period where I wasn't giving advice. I wasn't doing anything, because it's like just questioning everything. I was questioning everything. Like, what's good, what's bad, says who? Says who? Who said what? How this bad? Says who? When? Says who? And who wrote it? Says who? Says who? Says who? Oh, hey. Who is that? You know what I'm saying? And just trying to like break down and analyze so much stuff that I just kind of shrunk myself in certain areas of my life, and, you know, shrinking myself to fit in these places that I'm way too massive for, you know. So knowing myself, right, but accepting myself, and then also accepting the fact that everybody can't come with, you know what I'm saying? And that's very hard to accept, but it's a harsh reality, you know what I'm saying? And that it just is, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of in this point of my life of being. I'm trying to be. I want to just be, you know. So it's this quote I came across where it said, maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that's not really you, so that you can become who you're really meant to be. And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. You know, I came across that quote on Pinterest like last year. You know what I'm saying? And it's resonated with me because it's been something that I've needed to do for a long time. And again, and look, we talk about like, okay, I had 20 years of being trained, you know what I'm saying, to be a certain way. Your parents do the best that they can. You know, they learn lessons from when they're growing up, and they try to apply those things to help you have a smoother life that wasn't so smooth for them. You know what I'm saying? So parents do an excellent job. But as an adult, or as a person, as a human being, coming to and realizing things on my own, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel that I'm in a space of extreme acceptance of things. Like, yeah. So anyways, we're just being. I'm just gonna be. So for this channel, well, with that being said, my name is Robin Thomas, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the fam. We're gonna be family here, because I'm gonna be being myself, you know what I'm saying? So I would love if you guys, you know, left comments, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person that like to comment back. I like to have, you know, those conversations. I can be social without being like right there, you know what I'm saying? So you know, having grace. I'm having to teach myself to have grace with myself, and I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good with that, actually. You know, having grace with myself. So we're going to have grace on this channel. We're going to understand that everybody has their opinion, and that is what that is. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that if you happen to come across this channel, that through this journey of life that we're living, that my authenticity can bring you some laughter, some new information, and love, you know, ultimately can bring love, because that's what I want to give out to this world. That's what we're born with. We learn everything else, you know, as we're going through life, or like defense mechanisms and stuff like that. But yeah, I want everybody to feel welcome, you know what I'm saying, and to be open and not be scared to say things, or to have an opinion, or to go back and forth, because that is how you learn. You learn by opening your mind and having conversations and challenging yourself and challenging others, you know what I'm saying. for those things and whatever. So definitely we're gonna toast to being. So I have my shot glass. I went to Bevmo today and the Crown Royal was $35. Buy one for $35 and get the second one for 5 cents. Bitch, you know I came at that bitch with 2 Crown Royals. Cause how I'm gonna pass on a deal like that? But anyways, that's what's in my cup. I just wanted to share that with y'all because that's what's in my cup. But anyways, this is so cute. Look, I got this in Denver. We were on a Thomas family vacation. What was this? Last year? I think last August. I love me a good shot glass now. So this is actually a shot and a half. Isn't that cute? So yeah, I got my Crown Apple, and then I also have my my booch crab, my kombucha. This is really good for people who and I say girls because most men just drink beer. Like men like, is it cold? And they drink it. But it's so good. So it's like, I don't know, I like to call it a female beer. I like to call it female beer. So it's a booch crab. Booch crab is the company, I guess. But it's a hard kombucha. And it's so good. What's this? Grapefruit hibiscus. But yeah, that's gonna be my chaser. And it's really my chaser because we don't have any juice. I normally do juice, but I need to go to the grocery store, y'all. I need to go get some food for my family and this shit. So yeah, I got that shit ready for me after I take my shot because liquor is nasty. I don't give a fuck when nobody say this shit is nasty as fuck. We just like the feeling that come with it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, we gonna toast to just being. Boop. I like to take my chaser first and after. Because that shit is nasty as the fuck. I just want to do something to kind of like, I guess like as an icebreaker, y'all know how we used to have like those icebreakers and stuff to get to know different people, whether it was like in class and church settings and workshops or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, to get to know people a little bit. So yeah, I do not know exactly what I'll be bringing to this channel. So I have another, so I'm super professional, right? So I have another channel, I have a business of my own, and I have to be professional. So I don't really want to be professional here, you know what I'm saying? I just want to do whatever the fuck it is I want to do without having to like think about others necessarily. Like, this is what this is for me. So I'm trying not to be like, oh, I'm gonna have a video every week, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, trying to put so much on myself. I just want to come here and share with you guys when I feel that I want to share with y'all, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that you subscribe to my channel so that we can discuss some things, we can learn some things, we can laugh together, we can joke together. I'm really actually like a really goofy person. I'm actually more goofy than anything. So yeah, I hope that I can bring y'all some shit, you know, within my, I don't know, my personality. My personality or whatever. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any new videos. Like this video if you was like, yeah, girl, I've been going through some of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that didn't been an adult for goddamn me 10 years. So yeah, I hope that you guys subscribe to my channel and that you guys come back. Before I leave y'all tonight, I did want y'all to let y'all know, and I'm gonna leave this in my description box, but I love music. I seen a post one time was like, listen to the song is enough, I want to fuck the song. And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. I want to fuck the song, right? So anyways, I love music so much. And one of the things I love about like doing hair, so I don't have a TV in my studio. There was once upon a time where I did have a TV in my studio, but telling adults to put their head down over and over again just kind of wasn't sitting right with me. Because they was trying to look at the TV. It's so crazy because I once had a child client who I kept telling her, like I would say whenever I needed her to put your head down, she would pause her fucking show and put her head down. I'm like, Why adults don't do this shit? That's neither here nor there. But I don't have a TV. I wanted to, so in like the controlling thing or whatever, I don't know, I wanted to give the atmosphere of woosah, right? So people have their phones, they have all these apps that they're, you know, tuned into, but to be able to just kind of like release. When I tell y'all, okay, I work 5 days a week, most of the times I have like in between 5 to, on Sundays I can have like 3 or 4 clients depending on what I'm doing. So 5, excuse me, so 5 to 8 clients. And we're just so busy that I wanted my atmosphere to be a stress relief. But when I tell you, like, I know at least twice a week, two of my 2 to 3 clients go to sleep. Like, just use that time to, you know what I'm saying? So they got the music going, they're like being serenaded by the music, or whatever, and they're just like chilling, and they be like, so who playlist is this? I'd be like, man. They be like, what? I'd be like, yes, girl, I take my time with this. You know, even the niggas, they'd be like, who this? Spotify? I'd be like, nah, baby, this is Robbie Rah. Okay? Came with this myself. So anywho, I have playlists for you guys to listen to, and go ahead and listen to it because I'm finna like switch over. These have been relevant on my, or not relevant, but these have been on my page for a while. I'm trying to go to it. Hold on. What's my name? Are you Ellie? No, I'm just playing. But anyways, so yeah, Linktree. So on my Instagram page, and I'll leave the link to my Instagram. But I guess I better make this my Instagram public again since I'm doing this. So I'll make my Instagram public again. But I do have playlists, and so I have a Linktree of my different playlists, and the link is in my bio. But it's different ones that have different, you know, songs or different combination of songs for different things. So I have a Get High With Me because I love smoking fucking weed. And this is for all my stoners. So fuck it, come get high with your girl. Whenever you go to roll up your blunt, put on this motherfucking playlist. So I stream with Tidal. So if you have Tidal, do this. If you have anybody else, I don't know. I feel like Tidal has like a free trial. Maybe you can listen to it, but if you got to look on there and see some songs or whatever that you want to download to your own, you can. So anyways, I have a Get High With Me playlist. I have a For Me inspirational playlist, and the For Me playlist is more like a playlist where it's all about self, right? So it has nothing to do with, or I try not to have it, any songs of like comparison. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to have just like a self, like a super self thing, right? So, Express Yourself, it's like an old song, but Express Yourself, Brown Skin Girl, goddamn me, Bag, like things that make you elevate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And not comparing, because I feel like social media is in such a time of comparison, or where people compare themselves without even knowing that they're like comparing themselves. So I don't know, this just sometimes I need playlists to like, I need to detox myself. So this is a playlist for detoxation or whatever, you know what I'm saying, where it's only focusing on you and like bettering yourself as a person. Then I have a sit back and relax, wind down playlist. It's really good for like after a long day or a long week, or you're trying to get in the tub and you're just like, you know what I'm saying? So this playlist is actually the playlist that I use for my clients when they're getting their hair washed. So it's like a whole experience, a really relaxed experience. They be waking up like, you hear me? They be waking up like, girl, okay, now you're gonna have me sleep through this goddamn whole appointment. And then I have a Forever Mood, which is a 90s playlist. And it's honestly like all of the 90s music that I have on my playlist. I didn't like make 20 or so songs, you know, compile them into one. It's just all of it. So if you like scroll through, be like, oh shit, I ain't heard the song in a minute, or oh whatever, it's good to like download it. And it, or even just push shuffle, you know what I'm saying? And vibe with you. And then I have a let's talk about love. I love me some love. Oh, you know, so I have a love playlist, and the love playlist is all types. You know, it's going through bullshit, is being in the good shit, goddamn it, is yearning for the good shit, is all of that shit. So right now I have 5 playlists for you guys to listen to. Again, I will link it on here, but it's also linked into my Instagram, my Instagram's page, for you all to be able to go to and listen to and kind of vibe with me. So like I said, it'll be changing soon. I don't know how soon, but this has been up here for a while. Maybe like a couple of months for sure, maybe like July. So July, August, September, it's been about October, so like 2 months. But I'm ready to like change it out to something different. But before I do, go ahead and make sure you tap into that. And I thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Again, I hope you guys subscribe so that you all come back and we vibe and stuff together and we have us a good time. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. And again, welcome to the fam.